Okay, before I get into this review, let me just say yes. For the first time, I am reviewing something on the night it aired. And I need to pull up this episode. It probably ain't gonna say too much about it because this is the same night and they don't usually have it up on the same night. But I'm gonna try my best to remember. Okay, more than likely, it started out talking about it was showing Rick and Jadis. It said years ago or something like that. They was talking. She was going to this little restaurant or something, and she was told him she kept on going there every day to let him know she's waiting on him to see him. And he was upset. And she was talking about how she saved his life and how she brought him to that community, and he let her know that you brought me into this community, you saved my life, but you brought me somewhere where I can't even leave. And I'm sitting there, I understand. And she was telling why she's signing up for the CRM and how all that. But how he talking about escaping, and then they show back to the now timeline, and she was saying something about if him and Michonne try to escape, she gonna find them, have their community killed, and have them killed. And Rick was talking about why when I told you I was escaping, you never threatened to kill me. And she said because she knew he couldn't escape, but she know him and Michonne together can do anything. And I'm sitting there, boy, she got a point there. She got a point. And doggone, I'm sitting there and this episode had a beautiful scene. So all them doggone pictures that Rick was leaving behind of Michonne and Judith, it wasn't drew by him. It was drew by an artist who has a stand in the city. And Rick, I met Michonne found the doggone stand, and she said, "You're the one who drew me." And it was such a heartwarming scene. And he was talking about how it took Rick 3 years to really open up. He said he drew Michonne and Judith, but he couldn't. He was trying to draw Carl for him, but he could never get it right. And he was the one who told Rick something. What he be saying? Live a little longer, survive a little longer, whatever that phrase is that they've been using in that episode. And also Rick's companion. I'm trying to think of her name. Let me see if I can find it. Shoot. Pearl. She got promoted, and she said something about she got that Escalon briefing, and she was saying something about when Rick. She was telling Rick something about when he find out about it, they're gonna give him more reason to want to stay. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, okay, what in the world is this Escalon breaching? What kind of secrets is they talking about? And I'm talking about her name, Pearl, but they call her Thorn by her last name. But I'm sitting there, what kind of secrets? Is they doing? And doggone, she got Michonne, and she was trying to recruit Michonne like Like what his name Okafor recruited her and Rick. And as she is recruiting Michonne, um, she was about to pull out her knife, and Rick pulled out his sidearm, and she asked Michonne if she agreed to it, and Michonne agreed that she would be with them, and they let Michonne go. And Thorne was talking to Rick, and she was telling Rick talking about how he pulled out his sidearm, and she they don't trust Michonne. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, and Rick, hold on, and Rick said he was backing her up in case something went off. And I'm saying to myself, Rick sitting there lying knowing he wasn't trying to back her up. He was finna shoot her if she tried to do anything with Michonne, because she's sitting there pulling her knife behind her back. But the whole thing is, she don't really trust Michonne, but she enlisted her anyway. And then they going out on I guess a walker hunt where they is blowing up a couple hundred walkers, and Michonne was fighting them walkers. Now Michonne, she told Michonne to stay at a certain position, and Michonne took this thing they had to blow up the walkers, and she went to pushing it, and Rick was helping her. And she told her to stop, but she kept on going. She told Michonne to stop, but she kept on going. And they took the thing, blowed up all them walkers. And when Michonne and Rick got back, Michonne had this stick, and she just killing the walker. And I promise you, when Thorne saw Michonne doing this, she looked, and I feel like she could tell that Michonne was the one who had that sword that they found and lied on that dude and said that was his, in the last episode. But okay, but she said she gonna send Michonne back to the whatever, back to the city or something. And she ain't finna be in the CRM or whatever no more because, like it said, she try to be controlling. She's a leader, as they call them. And when they got back to the area, Jadis came and she went to talking to Rick, and Michonne looked over there and seen Jadis. And she said, "Is that Jadis and doggone Rick?" He had this whole argument with Michonne, and he told her he's through. He broke up with her, I guess. He broke up with her, as they said. I guess to try to save her life. Um, but hold on, let me go to another thing before this. Um, Rick tried to get Michonne away from there. He had a boat, had this whole escape plan, and she gonna come back. I'm sitting there. He told her it's best that she leave because he can't go nowhere, and that was the scene before she found that dude who drew they picture and stuff. But let me say this: at the end of the episode, they was on the helicopter in a doggone thunderstorm going back to the city. And Michonne is gonna grab herself and Rick and gonna jump out of that helicopter, I guess, into some water. I'm sitting there saying to myself, oh, and also Thorne told Rick that he he is getting a promotion and he is gonna be getting what they call the the echelon briefing. But I'm sitting there saying to myself, he finna get an echelon breacher, and you done threw them out of that doggone helicopter. So in the next episode, he gonna be pleading with her that they need to go back. I'm sitting there. Michonne is doing some stupid stuff. Um, but yeah, I don't know too much about this CRM, but I'm looking and it says something about I guess that they were in the world beyond. Uh, I don't know. I didn't watch World Beyond because I started watching World Beyond and it seemed like it was a little too goofy for me. But this episode was real good, and out of 10, I guess I would give this episode an 8.5 out of 10 as well as the first episode. It was a little bit better to me than the last episode, besides Michonne doing some stupid stuff. It was a pretty good episode. But yeah, I'll see you next week. Take it easy.